2 words, baby. Blue balls. Welcome back to another episode of And God Was Like. I'm your host, Ariel Kaplan. Let's get into it. Chapter 19. God instructs the Israelites on the ritual of the red heifer. Basically, you use the ashes to purify anyone who has come in contact with the dead, which unfortunately is a foreshadow for Chapter 20. In the 40th year that the Israelites are in the wilderness, Miriam, the sex-positive, biblical, badass babe, dies. Female deaths are rarely mentioned in the Torah, so this is really significant. She was not given the kiss of death by an angel because apparently it's crude for a woman to die from the kiss of death. Jewish women should be buried exactly where they died. I really hope I die in Seth Rogen's arms. One of the gifts that Miriam got was the gift of the well. This well provided water for the Israelites as they were in the desert. It was kind of like a rock that just, flowed with them. It's very disputed, but I think we can all agree this is exactly what it looked like. The well dries up as soon as she dies. The Israelites immediately start complaining that they don't have water. Face down, ass up, Moses and Aaron fall on their faces and talk to God. God is like, Aaron, get your rod. Aaron's like, it's always on me, champ. And order Miriam's rock to flow with water. Moses and Aaron assemble the community. Moses strikes the rock twice with Aaron's rod. God is like, you dingbats. I told you to speak to the rock. I didn't say hit it. And for that, you don't get to go into Israel. This is a really harsh punishment. The shepherds who brought Israel out of the land of Egypt, they don't actually get to go to Canaan. Aaron and Moses are like, I'm pretty sure he said to hit the rock. Moses sends some messengers to the king of Edom. And he's like, hey man, it's me, Moses. You probably heard about the Israelites being enslaved in the land of Egypt. Well, I brought them out of Egypt. Fast forward 40 years, we're trying to get to the promised land. May we pass through your land? And Edom is like, if you do, I will kill you. People with their death threats in this biblical time, it's just like death, 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 death. The Israelites carry on and they reach Mount Hor. And here is where God commands Moses to basically kill Aaron. Moses brings Aaron up to the top of this mountain and his son Eliezer, strips Aaron of the custom outfit that God had made for him, puts it on his son Eliezer, and Aaron dies. The Israelites are actually shocked and they mourned him for 30 days. But they never mourned Miriam, just saying. Chapter 21. The Israelites continue trucking on their journey towards the promised land. And the king of Arad attacks them. So what do? They take his cities captive, they loot them, and they give all the booty to God. And the Israelites start complaining again. This heavenly bread that you call manna, it fucking sucks, bro. God sends flying serpents. The Israelites are like, fuck. Hey, Moses, our bad. We totally committed Lashon Hara. Moses, seeing that the Israelites are starting to understand how to play the crazy game that God calls life, realizes that they're really atoning for their sin, and under God's instruction, he gets a staff, puts a bronze serpent on it, and anybody who looks at the serpent will be cured of the plague, or their head will get reattached to their body. I don't know. So all the while the Israelites are trekking on their journey, they're trying to avoid enemies who are descendants of Lot. He had incestual relations with his daughters. Continue trekking on. We're going to the promised land by a really long detour. They stop at a well. They break out into song. Moses asks the king of the Amorites if the nation can pass through peacefully. He says no, no, no. The Israelites engage in a battle. They win. And then just copy paste this story a few more times. Chapter 22. Having seen all of this bloodshed by the Israelites, Balak, king of the Moabites, was shaking in his boots. So he sends some messengers to Balaam, who is like a magician, a sorcerer. He's a prophet, but he's not Jewish. Snoopy little God is like, yo, Balaam, what do they want? Oh, they just want me to curse the Israelites. And God is like, I don't think so. Balak sends over more messengers. They offer a shit ton of money. And Balaam is like, my dad said I can't go. But then God is like, you can go, whatever. So Balaam goes, and God is enraged because he was bluffing. Of course, it was a test, and he failed. Balaam hops on his ass. It's a female donkey, by the way. He rides to the Moabites. An angel stands in the way of the donkey. So the donkey steers off path. Balaam is pissed. He hits it. This happens 2 more times. Each time Balaam strikes the donkey. And the donkey is like, why the fuck are you hitting me, you asshole? Don't you see that angel right there? And Balaam is like, you can talk? You're making a mockery of me. If I had a fucking sword, I would kill you right now. Which is really embarrassing on his part because he's supposed to be this like great wizard and he can't even control a female ass. Then the angel reveals himself to Balaam and Balaam is like, oh, I can go back. God is like, no. Chapter 23. Now Balaam is with Balak and they're just hardcore chilling. Balaam is all, dude, I'm sorry. I can't really curse them. They're blessed. And so this keeps going back and forth, back and forth. Balaam actually blesses the Israelites. He's like, yo, they are sick as fuck. They're like lions ready to devour everyone, to suck on their blood. And this makes me think that Jewish vampires are real. Chapter 24. Balaam spouts an ode to the nation of Israel and Balak is like, dude, Balaam is like, I don't know how many times we can have this conversation. Like, I can only say what God wants me to say. Before he returns home, Balaam tells Balak a secret to destroy the Israelites, seduce them. Chapter 25. The Moabites, under Balak's instruction, under Balaam's instruction, throw a grand ritual feast. They invite the Israelites and they dedicate it to their pagan god Baal. Vayachel ha'am liznot el banot Moab. They sinned by whoring themselves to Moabite women. They're about to enter the land of Israel. Why would they do this? 2 words, baby. Blue balls. The rabbis say the Moabite women seduced the Israelite men, got them all horned up just until they were about to splooge, and they're like, ooh, sorry, you're gonna have to pray to Baal first if you want any of this puss. So of course the men were like, I will do whatever you say. I would do that too. As the Israelites are being reprimanded for their sins and others are crying because of their sins, Zimri walks over with a Moabite woman. They literally start having sex in front of everyone. Read the fucking room, my dude. Aaron's grandson Pinchas comes a storming with a sword, strikes them both in the stomach, although I really think it's their genitals, but he strikes them in the stomach and the plague stops. Baruch Dayan Ha'emet to everyone who died in this double whammy parsha. Next week, we're diving into Parshat Pinchas. Huzzah! Shabbat shalom, and I'll see you guys next week.